Hey guys, welcome back to Popverse. Today, we're diving deep into the roller coaster of emotions and chaos that is episode 7 of Heavenly Ever After. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, the links are in the description. Go catch up because this one gets wild. The episode opens with Somya, eyes burning with anger, glaring at a man. Just behind her, Nagjun softly tells her, "I'll be back in a bit, stay here." He heads off and arrives at a hospital, asking a nurse if there's a patient named Mr. Hong. She informs him that Mr. Hong had been admitted, but his condition worsened during a transfer to a bigger hospital, and he passed away. In the next scene, Somya and Nagjun are back in heaven. Nagjun gently asks her if she remembers anything, and she shares that she saw a man wearing a shirt with the exact image she saw in her dreams. The sight made her furious, and she wonders if she's a bad person. Nagjun reassures her, saying next time, they'll search for the man together. Their attention turns to a rainbow path nearby, where dogs are joyfully being reunited with their owners. A girl is testing them one by one. Meanwhile, Yesu sits lost in thought. Her friend Young enters, dressed up and ready to head out, asking what's bothering her. Yesu admits she feels like something bad is about to happen. Young shrugs it off, announcing she's going out on a date and might not return home tonight, then rushes off. Cut to the director, calmly reading a book when he senses someone watching him. Of course, it's Young. She walks right up to him, and he awkwardly wonders why she's coming over. She tells him that since he made eye contact, she took it as an invitation. The director denies any such intention, but Young doesn't stop. "Are you married? Are you single?" she asks. The director barely escapes the situation, but Young is still determined. Soon, she discovers he teaches a class, so she immediately signs up at the Heaven Center. Meanwhile, we meet 3 dogs who are mentoring other dogs in heaven. One of them, Mankey, is waiting desperately for her owner. The girl instructor explains that only dogs who qualify by passing a challenge can be reborn, not as humans, but as dogs again. When Mandu emits a magical light, he is selected for rebirth. The girl tells him to decide where he wants to go, and Mandu later consults the director about staying in heaven with his friends. The director denies his request, noting their place in heaven is temporary. Elsewhere, Nagjun and Yesu are at home. Yesu says she feels unwell, but Nagjun finds nothing wrong. On the TV, a debate is airing about old versus young couples. A woman claims young and old don't belong together, but a man references a woman named Yesu who lives with her younger husband. The woman scoffs, saying she probably hasn't met her mother-in-law yet. That triggers Yesu's memory. Her mother-in-law was worse than hell. Curious, Yesu asks Nagjun about his mother. He says she's in heaven and he's visited her. Yesu updates their nameplate, writing her name alongside Nagjun's. But suddenly an older woman arrives, Nagjun's mother. She calls Yesu her daughter-in-law, but Yesu denies knowing her. The mother insists Nagjun gave her the password. Yesu awkwardly acknowledges her, and the mother walks in, inspecting every room, especially the kitchen. She abruptly announces she's leaving, sensing Yesu is pretending to be ill. Later, she warns Nagjun not to tell her the house password if she asks. Nagjun disagrees. She's still his mom. Yesu confesses she feels deeply uncomfortable around her. Back in heaven, Mandu discusses potential rebirth destinations with his dog friends, but none feel right. Nagjun and Somya soon arrive, and Nagjun asks Mandu to accompany them to Earth for a task. Meanwhile, Yesu visits a church and finds a pastor asleep and unwell. She prepares porridge and lovingly feeds him. Back in class, Young confronts the director again with awkward marriage questions. Even trying to touch him, he panics and runs. Later, a woman waits anxiously for her dog, Mankey, who finally appears. The woman mistakes Mandu for Mankey, apologizes, and begins recounting how deeply she loved her dog. Nagjun relates, saying he once lost a dog but received a letter back after writing one to heaven. He hands her a heavenly letter, inspiring her to do the same. Nearby, Somya sees a child she wants to hold but can't. She recalls flowers she once saw and tries to touch them, but fails. Nagjun explains that he too couldn't touch things until he got a special watch. Somya leads Nagjun to the spot where she once knelt before a man and begged him for something. She recalls this vividly and feels ashamed. As they plan to follow the same path as that man, a train appears. They jump on it. Meanwhile, the woman writes a heartfelt letter to Mankey in heaven. Mankey, along with the director, reads the letter and responds, bringing a sense of peace. Back, Yesu arrives home to find her mother-in-law already moved in. The older woman reorganizes the kitchen, throws Yesu's stuff out, and replaces it with her own. Nagjun arrives and is visibly upset. During dinner, Yesu urges Nagjun to change his clothes because his mother might not approve. He does so, but his mother rudely says she's lost her appetite. Later, she tells Yesu she's going out with Nagjun tomorrow and Yesu should stay home. In heaven, Mandu is about to be reborn but learns he's headed to a homeless shelter. Horrified, his friends try to stop him, but it's too late, he's already left. Mandu finds himself on Earth with a kind man who feeds and shelters him. They fall asleep side by side. Back at the church, Yesu helps the pastor make kimchi and they bond. The pastor then recalls a painful memory, how his mother abandoned him outside the church as a child. At home, Nagjun's mother waits for Yesu, who still hasn't returned. She sees Young and opens up about how Yesu hates her, likely because she treated her the same way her own mother-in-law treated her. She regrets it now and decides to leave forever. Outside, Nagjun and Somya spot her. Nagjun asks where she's going. She says she knows Yesu will be relieved by her departure and warns them not to follow her. Just then Yesu arrives. Inside, she asks what happened, and Nagjun begs her to be kind to his mother. But Yesu refuses, she just can't do it. Meanwhile, Young again confronts the director and even manages to touch him this time, making him freeze and flee once more. In the final scene, Nagjun and Somya are back on Earth, searching for the mysterious man. Somya spots him and rushes forward, reliving a past where she slapped the man and he spat on her. Enraged, she strangled him then. In the present, she does it again. As she attacks the man, Nagjun arrives and witnesses it all, and that's where the episode ends. We'll be back with episode 8 tomorrow. Until then, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more detailed Popverse style recaps. Bye for now.